Hello.
Manik sir, இங்க லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீம் வரீங்களா? புரியுது புரியுது சரி பாபா நம்ம லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீமிங் பண்ணண்டா டைம் ஆயிடுச்சு. இல்ல லிங்க் கிடைச்சதுமா லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீம் லிங்க் பார்த்துருந்தது. சரி வா 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 வா. தாமஸ் சார், விஜய் சார், அது என்னப்பா கேமரா வேலை செய்ய மாட்டேங்குது? பாருங்க ஆமா சொல்லிக்கிறேன் சொல்லிக்கிறோம். அதுதான் ஒன்றும் வரலையா? சுவிட்ச் வச்சுக்கலாம் இங்கே ஏதாவது சுவிட்சு. ஃபோக்கஸ் வருது. இப்போ எதுவுமே பின்னாலயா? சரி. சுவிட்ச் ஆன் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? இதுதான் சுவிட்ச் இருக்குதா? இது ஆன் பண்ணுமா அது? சரி, ஆன் பண்ணிட்டியா இது? வேலை செய்யணுமா வருது? டேய், நல்லா மாற்றி போட்டாச்சு டேய். அது வேலைக்கு வரலாம்.
அதில் செக் பண்ணுங்க, இது ஒர்க் ஆச்சு.
ஃப்ரண்ட்டில் ஒர்க் பண்ணுமா?
இல்லை ஆன் ஆகும்.
அந்த வேறு கேமரா இருக்குதா?
கேமரா அதை வாங்கி போயிட்டு இருப்பேன்.
யார்?
இதில் நான் போஸ் சார் கொடுத்தாச்சு ஒரு கேமரா நீங்கள் யூஸ் பண்ணுறதா சொன்னீங்க.
எதுக்கு அங்கே கொடுத்துட்டீங்க?
அவர் அன்றைக்கே வாங்கி போயிட்டாரு.
இல்லைடா, இப்போ 2 கேமராடா. இதில் இது ஒரு கேமரா
கரண்ட் கிட்ட ஒன்று இருக்கு.
அது எடுத்துன்னு பார்க்கலாம். அது இங்கே இருக்குதா பாருங்க.
Good afternoon, Father.
ஆமாம், இந்த 3 லைட் ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டேன். 3 லைட் ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டு இந்த லைட் ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டு, ஒரு லைட் ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டு, ஒரு லைட், இந்த ஒரு லைட் ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டு. அப்படிங்களா? மேலே போய் போயிட்டுல பிக்ஸில் போயிட்டு நம்ம இருக்கார்ல ஆண்டோ சார்ல கம்பெனி
Good afternoon, Father. You are muted. Unmuted, Father.
இப்ப கேக்குதா சார்?
கேக்குது, Father. Okay. Everything okay, Father?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Okay. சார் ரெக்கார்டிங் வந்து ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா ரெக்கார்டிங் எல்லாம்
செஷன் ஒரு 5 மினிட்ஸ்க்கு முன்னால பண்ணிடலாம், Father.
ஓகே சார். Thank you.
விஜய் பண்ணிடுவார்.
சார்
அந்த சிஸ்டத்துல பண்ணிடுவார், Father. அதனால
ஓகே.
Shalom, friends. My name is Dr. Eli Nurkin Eisenberg, and today I'd like
சார் இந்த அப்டேட் பண்ண வாங்க சார். இல்ல இன்னும் லிங்க் போடலையா? அனுப்புன்னு சொன்னாங்க. இதெல்லாம் சொன்ன 2 மணி எடுப்பீங்கன்னு சொன்ன 2:45 இல்ல சார் டைமோட இருக்கணும் சார். 2:40 இருந்தாலும் லிங்க் அனுப்பிச்சிருக்கணும்ல. லேட் பண்ண என்ன பண்ண சொல்லுங்க. எல்லாரும் நம்ம டென்ஷன் ஆகுது இல்ல. சுரேஷ் உங்களுக்கு அந்த லிங்க் அனுப்பிச்சிடாரா? இந்த லிங்க் மட்டும் அதுல யூடியூப் லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீமிங் லிங்க் இருக்குது இல்ல, அது மட்டும் ரிமூவ் பண்ணிட்டு. ஏன்னா அது வந்து லைவா வருது, அது தேவையில்லை. நம்ம வந்து கஸ்டமைஸ் பண்ணி அனுப்புவோம். சரியா? யூடியூப் லிங்க் மட்டும் எடுத்துட்டு மற்றது கேன் சென்ட் டு இதில் அனுப்பிச்சுருங்க. மெயிலையும் வாட்ஸ்அப்லையும் போட்டுருங்க. எல்லா வாட்ஸ்அப் குரூப்லையும் மெயிலையும். ஓகேவா? யூடியூப் லிங்க் மட்டும் எடுத்துருங்க, ரிமூவ் பண்ணிடுங்க. ஏன்னா வில் கிவ் த கஸ்டமைஸ் லிங்க், அதை நம்ம அப்லோட் அனுப்பிச்சிக்கலாம். நம்ம ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. ஓகே, யா, ரிமூவ் த யூடியூப் லிங்க். ஓகே, சென்ட் த்ரூ மெயில் எல்லா வாட்ஸ்அப் குரூப்லையும் போட்டுருங்க. ஓகே, நம்ம வந்து யூடியூப் லிங்க் மெத்தட் அனுப்பிச்சிக்கலாம் ஒன்ஸ் இட் இஸ் ரெடி. ஓகே, யா, தேங்க்யூ. நான் கொடுங்க சந்தோஷம். அனுப்புங்க சார். இது நம்ம சாரு கொடுங்க. சார் ஆஃபீஸ் வேறுங்க. எனக்கு ஒரு சின்ன ஹெல்ப் எனக்கு இன்னைக்கு இந்த டுடே அண்ட் டுமாரோ we are hosting that ப்ரோக்ராமில், அந்த வெபினாரில் ஐ நீட் தட் கேமராமேன் கிடைக்குமா இன்னைக்கு நாளைக்கு மட்டும்? ஐ எம் சென்டிங் ஜஸ்ட் ஒரே ஒரு கேமரா மட்டும் நான் கொடுத்தமிச்சேன் இல்லையா? லாகிடெக் இல்லை, தாமர் இஸ் கமிங் டு மீட் யூ. தாமர் இல்லை கொடுத்தமிச்சிங்களா? யா, தேங்க்யூ. அதான்ப்பா இப்போ நீங்கள் கொடுத்தீங்கன்னாக்கா லைவ் எடுத்து போட போகிறோம். கஸ்டமைஸ் பண்ணி போடணும். பண்ணலாம். அது அதான் ஜஸ்ட் we are getting ready. அதான் அதுதான் ரெடி பண்ணிக்கிறோம். அவர் எங்க லேட் பண்ணிக்கிறாரு அவரு. பார்க்கலாம், நான் பண்றேன், ரெடி பண்றேன். ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ. Suresh, sir, can you unmute your mic and speak? You can unmute your mic, Suresh, sir. Suresh, sir.
Hello, Father. Could you hear my voice?
Yes.
Hello.
Javagar, sir. Yeah, we can hear, sir. We can hear your voice.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
can
Thank
you
you,
hear
Father.
me? Father, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You are given co-host, I think, no? Yes. Sam Surya, sir, is there? Sam Surya, sir.
Yes, he is also there.
Father, I'm here, Father.
Yeah, sir. Can you just take up the session, sir? Can you invite the audience participants?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You
So-
can do the admission of all the participants. Yes.
Father. Hello, Father.
Father, adjusting camera. So just a minute.
Dear participants, members from different institutes, hearty welcome. We shall wait for a couple of minutes for others to join.
Suresh,
Father, sir?
Suresh, can keep participants engaged. We'll start in another 2 minutes.
Sir, I couldn't get you, sir. Could you please?
Can keep participants engaged. We'll start in 2 minutes.
Yeah, sir. We'll go ahead.
Yeah.
So welcome, dear participants, to the two-day webinar on Discover Your Personality and Strength for a Bright Career, organized by PG Department of English, Don Bosco College, Yellowknife Hills. Welcome, dear participants. So let us begin this auspicious event with a prayer song. Now may I request Professor Benedict lead us with the prayer song.
Suresh, sir, we'll just wait for 1 or 2 minutes, no, for other participants to join. We have only 170 members. We'll just wait for 1 or 2 minutes.
Sure, Father. Sure.
So that other members can join. Yes. Suresh, sir, shall we start? Suresh, sir, shall we start? So, dear participants, a warm welcome to all of you. We shall begin this national webinar with a prayer song.
cry. Oh Lord, we need your mercy and we need your grace today. Hear us as we pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Our Father, hear us from heaven, forgive our sins, we pray. Hear our song as it rises to heaven. May your glory fill the earth as the waters cover the sea. See our hearts and remove anything that is standing in the way of coming to you today. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Our Father, hear us from heaven, forgive our sins, we pray. And though we are few, we're surrounded by many who have crossed that river before. And this is the song we'll be singing forever. Holy is the Lord. Holy is the Lord. Is the Lord. Is the Lord. Let's worship the Lord. Holy is the Lord. Holy is the Lord. Holy is the Lord. Holy is the Lord.
Suresh sir?
Mr. Suresh?
Yeah, Suresh sir, can you unmute your mic? Can you unmute your mic, Suresh sir? Dear members, at the very outset, on behalf of Don Bosco College of Yelagiri Hills, also in collaboration with the Bosco Soft IT company, we wholeheartedly extend a warm welcome to all the participants, people who have come from different institutes, colleges, organizations, from different institutes and universities across India. A hearty welcome and a warm welcome to each and every one of you. We have now Reverend Father John Santosham, the Secretary of the College, to give us a orientation message. Dear Father Santosham. Unmute your mic, Father. Unmute your mic and speak, Father. Father, unmute your mic. We cannot hear. Father, switch on your mic. Father, switch on your mic. Unmute your mic and speak, Father. You have to switch on. Yeah, now you're right. Yes, speak, Father.
Okay.
Yes, Father.
Yeah, now okay. Now okay.
Dear faculty members of Don Bosco College, Ellery Hills, dear Father Kasi Sayaraj, the Vice Principal, dear participants, I really appreciate the initiative taken by the English department of a college. The psychological traits, such an important topic in today's world. Though know thyself was a maxim proposed by philosophers centuries ago. And it is important. Just imagine a fisherman who goes to fish in the sea with the catamaran. The most important skill he has to know is to balance himself. Only when he balances himself, he can do the job. So it is with life. If and only if we balance ourselves, we'll be able to live our life successfully. And in balancing, to know thyself is very, very essential. The psychological dimension of a person is very important. And once the person knows himself, he or she will be able to manage any situation in which the person is in. And further, the person is able to choose the career that is suitable with his or her personal psychological traits. Today in companies, they are selecting people also. They focus on this dimension to study the psychological trait of a person before selection itself. And hence, knowing ourselves, especially of the psychological dimension, is a very pertinent topic. And I'm really happy this topic is dealt today. And I'm sure it will be a fruitful session for all the participants. I wish each and every one of you to have a wonderful, fruitful session. God bless you and thank you.
Thank you, dear Father.
Suresh, next.
Yes, Father. So, may I now invite our professor and HOD of our English department, Professor Sam Surya, to address the gathering.
Dear Reverend Father John Santosh, our Rector and Secretary, Reverend Father Sagai Raj, Vice Principal, Mr. Professor Javaha, our Chief Guest for today, my dear staff members, and my dear friends from all over India. Welcome to our program. We are very much happy to conduct such an in such a topic which is more relatable in today's situation. All of us are very much busy with all sorts of activities, but we are not taking care of our own psychological self. We hope this particular topic will be more interesting for you, and these 2 days will be more of an useful thing for you. Have a happy time with us for these 2 days, and thank you, Mr. Suresh Rajan, for convening this entire program. Over to you, Suresh. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your words of welcome. So, may I now invite our beloved Father, Father Kasi Sagai Raj, our Vice Principal of our college, who is who was constantly supporting us in regard to this program, and who is also having a close acquaintance with our chief guest. Now I request him to introduce our chief guest of the day to the participants. We welcome you, Father.
Thank you, dear Suresh sir. Hi friends, a pleasant afternoon and a warm welcome to all of you, dear participants, students, staff, teaching faculty members, scholars, HR professionals from different institutes, organizations, colleges, and universities across India. We are really happy to announce that the PG Department of English from Don Bosco College of Ellery Hills, in collaboration with Bosco Soft IT Company and the Ellery Asian chapter, have clubbed together to host this national webinar for you. And I take this opportunity to introduce the key resource person of the day, Mr. S.D. Jawahar. He is a very much successful and committed HR professional with 25 years of experience working in multiple industries in varied sectors such as logistics, pharma, healthcare, manufacturing, and media. He also worked earlier in reputed companies such as Strides, Rani, Volvo, Michelin, Apollo Hospitals, and Sun TV. Currently, he owns his own HR consultancy business focused on outsourcing, recruitment, training, and career guidance. He has a passion for training people and improving the performance of individuals and organizations. A very serene, mature, and well-integrated person filled with a compassionate heart and mind. We are really honored to have such an eminent and experienced person to be the key speaker for us today and tomorrow. I'm sure you'll be able to discover your personality and become a successful person in your career. Wishing all a wonderful learning, enriching experience. Over to the moderator.
Thank you, Father Kasi Sagaraj, for introducing our chief guest to the participants. So as our father acknowledged, is really a person who has got a vast experience, both on and off the sea. And he's also having 30 years of experience in industries too. I hope this two-day webinar will definitely enlighten and delighten the participants with this insight. So may I now request our chief guest, Jawahar Michael, to take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Suresh. And so good afternoon, everyone. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to put it on my full screen. Good afternoon, all the participants. I've been watching as people have been joining. I see many lecturers, professors, students joining from all over India, different parts of India. I'm very happy to be with you today and share whatever I know about this topic on discover your personality and strengths. I've been practicing this for quite some time now, starting from early from my career. I've been using psychometric tools for recruitment and training and developing people. So I've been using various psychometric tools. So I'm sharing one of the tools today, which I use basically to coach people to choose appropriate careers in their life. So career is one of the important aspects of life.
Jawahar, sir?
Yes.
Sir, can you lower your camera, sir? You can show your face, no? Can you lower your camera?
Okay. Am I visible now?
Laptop screen.
Yeah, am I visible now? I hope.
Your Maybe little bit. Yeah. Now better.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Father
Thank
Sagaraj. Yeah, I'm first of all thankful to the management of Don Bosco College, for the rector, for John Santosham, for Sagai Raj, for Thaddeus, everyone. And see, the next 2 days, we are going to spend on discovering our own personality and strengths and how we can use some disturbance. Okay. Next 2 days we will spend to discover our personality, our strengths, and how we can use our personality, our strengths for choosing a better career or being successful in our career. As Father John Santosham was sharing, whatever field we are in, it is important to know ourselves. It is important to know our personalities, our strengths, our likes, our dislikes, what we are good at. So if we discover what we are good at and what are our talents and what are our skills, then we can use them effectively for the success in whatever we do. Right. So today, my effort today will be to introduce the concepts. So I would also ask you to respond certain questions through chat so that I will get a feedback. So whenever I ask questions, please use your chat box and answer to me. One thing I want to know before I begin today, how many of you have done those tests? Our organizers would have sent you 3 tests. One is a 16personality.com personality test, then i5test.com, which is to find out your strengths, then a multiple intelligence test. So I have given 3 tests. May I know how many of you have done it? Can you respond using your chat box? So I have seen couple of them, a few of them responding that some of them have done 3 tests. Some of them, See, the reason I am asking you is because if you have done it, you can see those results and you will be able to better understand yourself and you will be able to better understand the concepts. So what I would urge you today is, even if in case you have not done it, after today's session, I will highly recommend you to do these tests. By today, by tomorrow morning, so that by tomorrow, when we discuss more about it by tomorrow, it will be very, very clear to you. See, in case, for whatever reason, if you have not done it before, make use of between today, after the session will be over at 5 o'clock. If you can do it by tomorrow lunchtime, if you have the results with you, this will help you to understand yourself first. It will help you to understand your personality, your strengths, and your top intelligences. There are about 8 intelligences we will discuss. It will help you to identify your top 5 strengths. It will help you to identify your top intelligences and your personality, and you can use them for your own success. Then for people who are lecturers and professors can also learn how to use these instruments, at least to guide them, to guide the students. So it will help also not only the students, but also the faculty members to first to understand themselves, then to understand their students and guide them appropriately. So my request is for everyone to do that. Yeah. Right. So moving on to the next one. Yeah, see, Suresh, if you don't mind, can you handle this admissions and everything if for me?
Yeah, sir, we'll take it, sir.
Sir, we are handling
we
it.
shall take it, sir. Don't worry.
Yeah, so that I will not have this disturbance, nothing else.
Sir,
okay, 1 minute.
Please, carry on, sir. Carry on.
Yeah, I'm trying to move my screen. 1 minute. Yeah, See, today, so between today and tomorrow, these are the topics we are going to cover. One is how to choose your career, especially for students, how you can choose your career, and what is personality, a brief description of what is personality, and what are the different types of personalities, what are multiple intelligences, and what is a strength, and what are the different types of strengths, and see how we can use our personality, intelligences, and strengths, how they work together. Then for faculty members and people who are interested in counseling others, what are the qualities we need to have to be a good career coach. So these are the topics I will be dealing with in the next, probably next 2 hours today and a couple of hours tomorrow, right? See, whenever we choose a career, we need to keep the following things in mind. First of all, whatever we do, because we will be spending close to 35, 40 years doing the job, doing the work, we should enjoy doing it. We should love doing it. There's no point doing something you grudge about, you don't like, you don't feel like going for work. So whenever you choose a career, you should keep in mind, you should enjoy doing it, you should love doing it. So then the second thing is you should be good at it. It's not only important you like it, you love doing it, but you should also have the necessary skills, knowledge, and behavioral traits required for that job. So whenever you choose, remember, yes, whether I love doing it, whether I will love doing it for the next 30 years, 40 years, then do I have the knowledge, the attitude, the skills, the behavioral traits required for that job. So we should, or if you're choosing a business, yes, whether I have the ability, the knowledge, and the skills for doing that business. So job is not only a career. So business and enterprise is also a career, right? There are also non-profit jobs, service jobs. So whatever we do, we should love doing it, and we should have we should develop the knowledge and skills and the behavioral attributes required for it. And whenever we choose a career, we should also keep in mind who are our target audience or target customers. So we should be very, very clear which are the customers, which are the clients we want to serve, and what are the needs of those kind of customers and clients. So we should know more about them. What is their age group? What is their interest? What is their wants? What is their needs? What are their problems? So we should be very, very clear about our target audience, our target customers, whom we want to serve. We should be clear how we can help them, how we can make their life better. So with all these things, if we can doing what we love and what we enjoy doing, but with the skills we have and the people we want to help and serve, if you get paid for it, it is the icing on the cake. So we enjoy doing it, and we serve other people, we work for the good of others, and we also if we get paid for it, then it's a perfect career. So we should keep these things in mind whenever we choose a career. Hope it is clear. If you're not understanding it, please, you can also make some comments in the chat box so that I can also look at it later or remember it during our question session. The last 20 minutes, we will keep it for question and answers. If you have not understood anything, keep your questions to the end, and we will answer all your questions. You can also put on the chat box so that the organizers can also note the repeated questions and they can ask those questions to me. Right. So again, these are the 3 tests I've asked all the participants to do. To understand your personality, there is a website called 16personalities.com. So it is a free test. So each of these tests will take anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes to answer, not more than that. So I have seen it at least hundreds of people answering these questions, these questionnaires. So it will take only 15-20 minutes. So there is no right or wrong personality. We need to understand that God has given us, or the nature has given us, different personality for different people, for different reasons. So if it is like nature, we have different trees, different species, each has its own distinct characters, distinct personalities, and it serves different needs of people and different purposes. Like that, there is no perfect personality or the right personality. Every personality is a good personality. It has each person has different attributes, different strengths. So the purpose of doing this test using 16personalities.com is to understand your personality and how you cope with our problems. See, when we face with a situation in our life, each one of us deal differently with the situation. There is no one way to solve a problem. There are multiple ways. So there are multiple ways to deal with issues. Each of us will deal with problems differently. We use different techniques, different tactics, different approaches. So once we do this test, we will understand our personality and how we approach problems, how we deal with problems, how we relate with others, so how we make decisions. So all those things, this personality test helps. Then the second one is a strength test. See, ifitest.com is again, all these tests are free. So if you give your email ID, you will get your reports to your email ID. You can read them. You can always keep them in your mind. The more you understand yourself, you will be more successful. That's how I feel it. The more you understand yourself, apply your strengths and apply your decision making. And even for teamwork, when you understand your strengths, your personality, you can be a better team player. You can work. So if these tests can be done for a group, let's say 10, 15 of you working in a small team, if all of you understand each person's strengths and personality, you will be able to cooperate better. You can use the strengths of other people, the complementary strengths. We will have some strengths. Our friends, our family members, or the team members we work with will have different strengths. We can use all our strengths, complementary strengths and collective strengths for betterment of the organization and even betterment of our own families and wherever we work. So ifitest.com is a free test, but there are also official tests, which I will talk about in the next few minutes. Then there are multiple intelligences. An educational psychologist, an educationalist by name Gardner. This is Edward Gardner has done a lot of research. After doing a lot of research, he has identified about 8 intelligences. One of the intelligences is bodily kinesthetic intelligence. So that nowadays it is divided into gross motor skills and fine motor skills. So, but for typical understanding, you can say 8 intelligences. The intelligences like logical intelligence, musical intelligence, then you can say natural intelligence, understanding nature, appreciating nature. So there are 8 kind of intelligences. So we will discuss further. So again, I remind you, if you have not done this test, by tomorrow's session, do that for your own betterment and your understanding. Right. So now I am moving on to the personality. See, we get energy in a different ways. Some people get energy by going out, spending time with friends, going out for a movie, going out for a trekking. So whatever, they would like to go out, meet friends, do a lot of activities outside, have fun. So that's how some people get energy. But there are other people who get energy by spending time alone, relaxing at home, reading something, listening to music, or watching something on YouTube and learning, or whatever way. So they would like to spend time in solitude, alone, so reflect, or spend time with very close, 2-3 close friends, not with big gatherings. So we know, say we would have heard these terms like extrovert and introvert. So there are people, see, these are preferences. End of the day, some people prefer to go out. That's how they enjoy. That's how they relax. Go for a movie or go for a party. So whatever an outdoor activity, it could be cycling. So it could be, there are bike clubs, whatever outdoor activities. Some people enjoy going out. That's how they get recharged. But there are other people who would like to be, after hectic week of work or hectic work day, they would like to relax, listen to music or read a good book or listen to something, watch a useful video on the YouTube. So there are different choices, how we spend time and how we recharge and recoup ourselves. So that's one fundamental difference in personality. Then the second one is, how do we get information? See, there are certain people who will do a lot of research. If they want to buy something, they will go and visit 2-3 shops. They will find out the prices. They will do Googling, understand the features of the product. So they will try to collect all the information, or they will speak to people, collect more information from people who have already bought that item or who are using that software or whatever it is. They will try to collect as much information as possible, very practical information, or they will visit the places, they will touch and feel the product. That's how they gather information. But there are other people who will understand the broad concept, the overall picture, the broad picture, right? Who are very conceptual, who are abstract. See, they are not kind of people who will go into the nitty-gritties or who will very fine details, but they are very strategic people who will understand the broad picture. They will understand the concepts. They understand the theory. They are very imaginative, creative. So may not be very hands-on, but they understand the concepts. They can take others' help to execute. They will understand the broad picture. So this, they may not go into the nitty-gritties and the minute details, but they will understand the overall picture. So that's how we gather information. So that's the second difference in how we gather information. And making decisions, right? There are different ways we make decisions. I know today a lot of students so I've been also interacting with the +2 students who have passed out recently, who have got results. See, I know different kind of people. Some students will do detailed research, gather all the information, then they will think about it. They will think about it a lot. They will discuss with their family members. They will discuss with their friends. They will discuss with their teachers. So they will reflect, think a lot before making a decision. So generally they are very logical. They will do critical thinking. They will analyze pros and cons. They will question. They will ask all the questions possible, try to find answers. They're very rigorous in their approach. So they think in depth. They ask all the questions. They look at any decision from different aspects. So they do a logical analysis. There are other people, after collecting some information, maybe a required amount, I will not say in depth, they may not go in depth. There are people who will make decisions based on their feeling after collecting some information. They may not go in depth. Probably they will understand overall picture. They will go by their gut feeling. They will keep their options open. They will take things as they come. There are also people who are accommodating, who are accepting. In the sense they are open-minded. They are not closed-minded, right? So this is how we make decisions. Some people will take a lot of time. So sometimes, to the extent we can say paralysis by analysis, right? Too much thinking. See, again, whatever we do, balance, we need to find the balance. Or too much of anything, too much of any extreme could lead to performance issues. So whenever there is a balance required, see both the aspects, whatever I said, it could be sensing and intuition, thinking and feeling. We should have a balance. Too much of anything could derail our progress or limit our progress. We should understand that we should find the balance as much as possible, right? Then there is another distinction between personalities is judging and perceiving. Certain people will make decisions very quickly. They will form their opinions quickly. All right. So for them, it takes only very little time to assess. So this person is like that, or this person is like this. So this is the right thing to do. This is the wrong thing to do. They are the people who are very systematic, very methodical. They make detailed plan. They will make a schedule. They will follow their plan. They will write down their plan. They will use their calendars, or they will use their diaries to note down their appointments. Make a detailed plan and try to follow it. They're very methodical. They start early. They plan. They are not the people who will burn the last minute oil or the midnight oil. So they're very methodical. They make progress gradually using their detailed planning, very detailed approach, very planned approach. But there are other people who are casual. They take things as they come. They keep things open. Say they will decide on the move. So they won't make a very detailed plan. They will say, I'll take it when it comes. So I'll cross the bridge when it comes. So something like that. So there are people who are open-minded, may not be very structured, but they will take things as they come. They will decide as and when required. So these are 4 different aspects. So if you understand the differences on how we get energy, how we collect information, and how we make decisions, and how we generally live, whether we are methodical, very planned, or we take life as it comes, casual, emergent. So based on these things, so we are coming to a critical understanding of the personality. Right. So we discussed about extroverts. So to summarize, extroverts are the people who get their energy by doing different tasks, who like to do things quickly, fast-paced. They enjoy doing multiple tasks. They are energized by meeting people. They are energized by going out. So they are extrovert. An introvert are the people who would like to work alone or work in small teams, small groups. They would like to work in a methodical, slow and deliberate pace. When I say slow, I'm not saying procrastinating things. They will make more cautioned move, very deliberate moves. They will take time. They will take required time to progress. They are not fast-paced, right? They prefer to focus one task at a time, not doing multiple tasks. For people who are introvert, it could be a challenge to focus on more than one thing at a time. But there are people, extroverts, who can do multiple things. They can switch between one task to another. But the introvert prefer to take up one task and complete it, doing it very deliberately and methodically. And information, as I explained earlier, see, I want you to look at the first letter of each word, because the personalities we are going to talk later is going to be the combination of the first letters. So for extroverts, we need to remember E, and introvert, we should remember I. Similarly, for collecting information, we saw people who collect a lot of facts, who collect a lot of details, who use their past experience. So they are sensors who are very practical, pragmatic, empirical. You know what is empirical? They will go by evidence, they will go by facts, they will go by information. So they are sensors. And intuitives. We are using N, remember, we are not using I, because for introverts, we have already used I. So instead of, for intuitive, we are using N. So intuitives are people who look at the possibilities, who look at the big picture, who are creative, who will see the patterns, right? So they will understand the broad pictures. They will think what could be possible in the future, how we can improve things, how we can find a creative solution. So they are very intuitive people, right? Then we know the difference between thinkers and feelers. As I told you, thinkers are the one who will collect all the information, who will think critically, ask all the questions, They are very consistent. They will look at the facts. They will go in depth. They will discuss with people, with multiple people. They will evaluate their ideas before they make decisions. Feelers are the one broadly, after collecting some information, they will make decisions based on their feelings, their gut feelings, what they feel strongly. They may not go in depth, but they will decide on what they feel right based on their gut feeling, and they will go by that. And they will go by their values, or they will go by their relationships, and they are considerate people. They will look at how their decisions will affect other people. So they will be more cautious when they decide. They will look at how their decisions will affect other people. They are open-minded. They are more accommodating, more accepting. So again, remember T for thinkers and F for feelers. Judges are the ones I said, they're very organized, very methodical. They make detailed plan. They decide quickly. They will judge quickly. They will come to decisions, and for sometimes, see, extremes of anything is bad. As I said, if you decide very quickly without collecting all the information, if you make decisions quickly without collecting, that could go wrong. So we should have a balance. At the same time, you should make decisions. You can't endlessly postpone the decisions, right? So you should not make decisions rashly. You should not make decisions without collecting at least adequate information. At the same time, you can't postpone things endlessly, procrastinate things. So perceivers are the ones who keep things open. They are open-minded. They take things as they come. They are spontaneous. They are flexible. So now you understand. See, you will be one of these things. See, sometimes, so I will explain. You could be 60% extrovert, 40% introvert. Or you could be 70% thinker, 30% feeler. The other way around, you could be 70% feeler and 30% thinker. So generally, if we take this as, say, if you take an extrovert and introvert as a continuum, so from an extrovert to introvert, you can be anywhere. You can be at the 40th percentile, or you could be at the 60th percentile. So we need to understand the personality differences. So now 4 into 4. So I know some math students are here as well. So 4 into 4 is 16. We know. So the square of 4 is 16. So that is how there are 16 personalities. So people who have done the test already, you would know your results, and you would know your personality, right? So as I explained you, the first letter. So if I will take, for example, we have some teachers here, lecturers here. See, for them, generally people who are in teaching profession, or people who are in sales profession, they will be extroverts because they constantly meet with new students, constantly meet with new people. Generally people who would like to go out, meet people, interact with people are extroverts. So you will see E there, and N stands for intuition. So the first letter, see, we saw in the previous slides. So E stands for extrovert, I stands for introvert. Then S stands for sensing, N stands for intuition. T stands for thinking, and F stands for feeling. J stands for judging, and P stands for perceiving. So we are a combination of these 8 letters. So a combination, right? 4 into 4, 16 combinations. Look at your personality. So tomorrow we will discuss in detail for each personality. So there are 16 personality types. For each personality types, we will discuss what could be the better careers, which careers will suit them better, right? See, I'll just give an example, a couple of examples today, you will understand, okay? See, I look at ENTJ. See, you see there field marshal, right? ENTJ. A field marshal, you know, we have an army, the person who is at the top of an army, you can call a field marshal. A field marshal should be a leader, right? He should be a natural leader. He should be a person whom people will look up to. And he should be a person who is approachable, who will interact with others. So naturally, an extrovert, he should be an extrovert because he should be able to interact with people, he should meet with people, he should be commanding, he should be fast-paced. So a typical character of an extrovert. Then see, we saw sensing and intuitive. So as a senior leader, as a topmost leader, he need not gather all the information. For that, he has a lot of people to do the groundwork. You could have spies who collect a lot of information. There are surveillance mechanisms, there are radars. So there are different people who will gather information. So once you get all the information as a field marshal, you should know the broad picture. You should know the broad strategy. Then you will be able to know where to attack, where not to attack, when not to attack. So as a field marshal, a top leader requires an intuition. So for him, more than sensing and going into the nitty-gritties, going in very detail, you should understand the broad picture. You should be creative. You should come out with new strategy. This is also applicable not only field marshal, any leader in the corporate, any person who is in the senior position, whether in the corporate world or in any organization, who is a top leader should be creative. You should understand the possibilities. You should understand the broad picture. So intuition is very, very important. So at the same time, you should be thinking. You should not, as a leader, you can't make decisions only by feeling, right? Of course, you should be compassionate. You should listen to others. But at the end of the day, when he makes decisions, it should be very thought out process, very detailed. After collecting all the information, thinking in depth, thinking critically, you should make decisions, not just by his feelings, right? Then as a top leader, you can't postpone things. You need to make decisions quickly. You can't procrastinate things, or you can't postpone, take too much time, because the market will change, the dynamics will change. By the time you make decisions, somebody could capture market, or your competitor can take advantage. So I'm just explaining, as a corporate leader or a field marshal, whoever is in a leadership position, typically will have these characteristics: extrovert, intuition, thinking, and judging. So next, I will come to a person, somebody like ISTJ. ISTJ is a person, see, once you have given him a task, let's say a field marshal, a top corporate executive, a CEO gives some task to a person like ISTJ. ISTJ is a person who would like to work alone, or who would like to work in a small group, because he is an introvert, right? And he is a person who is sensing type, who will, if some information is asked by a leader or a manager, he will spend time, he will collect all the information, he will go in depth, he will collect all the details, he will collect all the facts. So which is sensing, right? An introvert who would like to work alone or in a small team, a sensing person who will collect the facts, who will go in depth, who will collect all the information, and who will also think. So he will not recommend anything to his manager just by feeling. So he will collect all the information, he will think through, ask all the questions, then make recommendations to his superior, his manager, his leader, right? So then the field marshal will be able to make a decision. He is a person like, you can say, as a field worker or an executive who is on the field. So now I hope you understand. I hope so far it is clear. Can you make your comments on chat so that I will get a quick feedback, if you don't mind, if you have understood so far.
Jawar sir?
Yes.
Jawar sir, there is one query from the participants.
Yeah.
They're asking for the expansion of ENFJ, maybe the first one.
Okay, I will explain. Yeah, I will do that. E stands for an extrovert. That means who can mix well with others, who can move well with others, who can meet new people, who is comfortable meeting new people. So E stands for extrovert. So yeah, I'm just having disturbance with this admissions. Okay, N stands for intuition. See, as a teacher, you need to understand the broad picture, the concepts, the possibilities, right? See, you should understand not only the facts, you should also understand the possibilities. As a teacher, you need to be creative. So you should so basically change approaches based on different students. So N stands for intuition, F stands for feeling. See, at the same time, teacher also has to be compassionate. See, of course, by his profession, by his knowledge, he will understand the concepts. So you will have all the knowledge, theoretical background, educational background to teach. But at the same time, you should also understand how the students feel, whether they are grasping things, whether they are paying attention, whether they are showing the interest. So you should be compassionate. So you should understand whether students are paying attention, they understand things. So as a teacher, you should be more feeling. So yes, thinking will be there because of your academic background, the amount of time and effort you have put in, you will be subject matter experts. So after being a subject matter expert, so as a teacher, as a counselor, we need to have that feeling. So that is what F stands for. Judging is, of course, a teacher has to also make quick decisions. So based on whatever the aspects, see, only, of course, with a lot of experience, with dealing with hundreds and thousands of students, yes, you will be able to make decisions fairly quickly. That is judging. So, but I always say be cautious. See, all these things, extrovert, introvert, or sensing, intuition. So the balance of both these things are good. So as much as possible, we should have a balance of both. But I understand naturally it is not possible. Somebody will be good in thinking, somebody will be good in feeling. So, but as much as when we grow, when we mature, we should have a balance. So this balance is not something new. People are talking about balance from the times of Buddha and Mahavira. And so balance in life is very, very important. The balanced personality is also like this. We should be thinking, at the same time, we should be compassionate. We should feel for others. We should understand others' emotions, right? We should not judging and perceiving. We should not come to conclusions very quickly, judge other people quickly. At the same time, we need to make some decisions, right? So we can't endlessly postpone things. So a balance of all these things is good. Is there any other questions, Father Sagai? If there is any other questions, I will be willing to answer. You can unmute, and on behalf of the participants, you can ask me.
One person is asking, what is the matrix you have shown, no? The matrix of the combinations NF, NT, SF, ST. What does it really signify? What is the meaning of all this matrix? Someone has asked,
Okay.
Can you just explain, sir?
So you look at it, yeah, I will explain. See, you look at, there are 4 colors, right? You will see a green color, a blue color, a yellow color, and a kind of, yeah, I don't know what, it's kind of, you can say a red or a slightly red color, okay? Okay, see, you see the middle letters there. The middle letters in the green, this one is NF, right? The middle letter in the blue is NT, right? See, these are the people who will value people, and they are the ones. See, there are some universal values, right? So, which are the values which are acceptable by the entire humanity, right? And which are traditions, the concepts, the values, principles, right? So the NF combination are the people who value certain, manifesting some universal values, and people who are valuing people. A combination of N is intuition, they understand the broad picture, right? They grasp things, at the same time they respect people. You understand? So similarly, people we saw, leaders, I said a field marshal, a corporate leader. These are the people who will look at the possibilities. So who will look at the future. So what are the creative ideas, imaginative, right? Thinking. So these are the people who will set the vision of the organization, right? And basically motivating people to the vision, motivating people towards a vision, right? Who will drive people, who will encourage people to understand this is where we need to reach, these are our milestones, this we can achieve, right? So the middle letter is visioning, right? See, there are people, see here you see the sensing and thinking people. These are the people who are direct people, right? They're supervisors, right? The inspectors. So these are the people who will follow procedures. So if you have a standard procedure, so it could be for an examination or for administration. These are the people who are good in directing based on some established norms, rules, procedures. So these are the people who will supervise, follow the procedures, instruct other people to follow the procedures. So they are directing types, right? Action-oriented type. And S stands for sensing and feeling. These are the people who are good in relationships, right? So they are caring people. So they understand others' feelings. They understand the facts. So they are people who are good in relationship, who are trustworthy, who will include others, who are inclusive. I hope you understand now, Father Sagai, or if anybody has any questions, I think Archana is raising, and yeah, I hope I'm clear.
Yeah.
Father Sagai,
someone is asking, what is the career? What kind of a personality companies need? For a successful person. What kind of a personalities companies expect?
Yeah, I think Suresh is asking. Suresh, see, for different jobs, we need different personalities, Suresh. See, for example, if I'm looking for a sales job, right, I would need a person who is an extrovert, right? I need a person who is an extrovert, who is good in relating people, who is meeting new people, who is also understand, who is more, see, basically who understands others' feelings, who understands others' needs, right? So I need a person who is an extrovert, who understands others' feeling, who will understand the broad picture, who is target oriented, right? So the personality required for each job is different. See, if I am looking for somebody for research, I would probably need an introvert who will follow the procedure, who could be some creative, right? So the personality required for each job is different. So as I said, for salesperson, I will look for an extrovert and friendliness, understanding others' feeling, who is target oriented. For a kind of a research job, for an accounting job, where a computer program, I would look at somebody who is comfortable sitting alone or sitting with a small team, working for many hours, doing coding or doing research, working in the lab. So the personality required for each job is different, Suresh. We will discuss in depth tomorrow, right? Is it clear? So I'll move on. Yes.
Sir, just one more last question for this. One person, Bhavya Jain, has asked some understand little more explanation on NF, NT, ST, and SF. Those four corners, no?
Yeah. See, thanks, Father Sagai. Thanks for helping me with these questions. See, I would ask all the participants to look at. There are four different colors in this matrix, right? You see a green color. See, these are the personalities. The middle letter is the same for all those people. So if you look at all these professions, you understand a counselor works with people. He should understand others' emotion, right? He should, when he counsels, so you should understand the person. You should understand others' feeling. At the same time, so you should understand the broad picture. When he is listening, you should not be judgmental very quickly, but at the same time, you should see, since he knows he is a subject matter expert, he understands the subjects, You will broadly see, like our doctors. See, they will be very friendly. They will, most of the doctors, I'm saying, most of the doctors will be very friendly. They will crack some joke. They are approachable. They will listen to you. But at the same time, intuitive, right? Because of their subject knowledge, their experience, they will broadly diagnose, okay, this must be the issue. Then they could recommend some other tests, some other things. So you understand, these are the professions working with people and who are friendly, who are intuitive. So NF stands for, see, they broadly understand the concepts, they broadly understand the principles, then they are friendly with people. So N stands for valuing values and valuing people, right? So it could be valuing values, also valuing principles, so established procedures, so you can say that, right? NT stands for, N is again, I said, N stands for intuition. People look at possibilities, they're very creative, they're imaginative, they come up with creative solutions, they set a future vision for the organization, they think through. It is not only a kind of, not a wish on the air, not a wishful thinking, but a concrete vision, right? After thinking through all the possibility, collecting all the information, they will direct the organization towards a vision. They understand the broad picture, they will think through the plan, and they will direct others, they will direct the organization towards a vision. They are leaders. So if you look at here, for example, an architect should be creative. See, if he makes only one design as an architect, so is he creative? Whether people will come to an architect, he should understand the broad picture, whether the structure will withstand, or whether a mason can build based on their architecture, or a civil engineer can build it. So they will design. They are creative. They will think through. So, but at the same time, they will look at new designs, right? So people with NT are the people who are imaginative, who are creative, at the same time who will think in depth. So NT stands for a vision. ST, you know, S stands for sensing, right? Collecting information, collecting details, collecting facts, going in depth, following procedures, following systems, established methods. So that is sensing and thinking. These are the people who are good for first line supervisors or first level managers. So who are required to follow procedures. They can't be very creative, or they should follow some norms, some procedure. Doesn't mean they need not be creative, but they should follow established procedures, established rules. So they are, and they should follow the administrative policies. They should follow the policies of the organizations, the procedures of the organization, and ensure that others follow it. They are good in, say, kind of a police job, or a commander job, a supervisor job, or an operator in the factory. So these are the people who will follow established procedures. They will go by the facts. They will go by the, so based on criteria. So these are people good in directing and following directions, right? They are action-oriented people. And SF again, see, these are, you see F here. See, people composing, so could be good in music. They understand others' feelings. So they will play the music accordingly, right? They understand also the situation. So they know the facts, but at the same time, they also, they give more weightage also to the feeling. The performers, like a comedian, right? A stage performer. A stage performer should understand the mood of the audience, right? How they feel. You should entertain them. So you should understand the context. At the same time, you should be entertaining, understanding others' feelings, right? You should be good in relating with others. I hope it is clear now. And if there are more questions, we'll keep it to the end, Father, because I need to cover a little more. But yeah, I'm open. So
you can proceed, sir. You can proceed.
Yeah. Right.
You can proceed.
I hope it's clear. If any other questions are there, I request the participants, you can put them on the chat box. And I would also request the organizations, if there are similar questions, club them so that we can answer the similar questions by grouping them at the end of the session. Right. Just a minute. So we have covered the personality. You could be any one of these personality. There are only 16 possibilities, but the percentages could be vary. See the difference. See, if you ask me a question, are there only 16 types of personalities in the world? No, I would say no, because the percentages of each one could vary, right? Between a E and an E here, somebody could be, I'm just saying 80% in extrovert, somebody could be, let's say 60% extrovert, right? So, or 55% extrovert. So there is a significant difference between a person who is 55% extrovert and a person who is an 85% extrovert. So who will be an 85% extrovert will be like, will be very gregarious, always cracking joke, making, you can hear him speak, is loud. So there is a difference. So the ratio, the percentage of extroversion, introversion, thinking, feeling could vary between people. So, so there are n number of possibilities. So it is not only 16, but broadly for our study, for our understanding, for purpose of careers. And so this is based on MBTI. There are two, basically this concept was developed by mother and daughter, Myers and Briggs. This MBTI is, this tool is almost 60, 70-year-old tool. Right, I'm hearing something. Right.
Sir, proceed, sir. Sir, proceed.
Yeah. I see, the next is I'm moving on to the strengths. See, strengths again, see, I will tell you the test we are doing. It's a free test. If you have used the test, it is called ifightest.com. You would have got the results. Broadly, your strengths will be one of these categories. Generally, we have strengths in 4 areas. One is in relationship. Are we good in building relationships? How we are using our relationship to progress, to use our relationship betterment of the organization. And so the strengths could be in the area of relationship, maintaining relationship, building relationships. So that's one area we can have strengths. And the next one is, once we develop relationships, how do we influence people? So are we catalyst? You know the role of catalyst. If you are a chemistry student, a catalyst is the one, basically in a reaction, if you add a catalyst, it will quicken the reaction. So like that, if people are discussing a lot of times about different ideas, they will say, why don't we take action? So they will motivate others to make decisions quickly and move on quickly. They are the people who will encourage others, motivate others, rather than to endlessly discuss and postpone things. They will ask people to act quickly, or they will motivate people. So they are catalyst personalities. And influencing. You are not necessarily influenced by only words. If you are a confident person, if you believe in yourself. So if you are, let's say, if you are confident, balanced, mature, your own personality itself will influence people. So if you are a calm, composed person, you will bring calmness, peace, and that composure and to the team, wherever you are. So wherever you are, there will be people will talk sensibly. They will respect you. Looking at your personality, your maturity, the disposure you have, right? Some people are good in telling stories or communicating well. When we say storyteller here, so they will understand the concepts, they will explain very well, right? They will communicate very well. Like a lot of teachers use parables, stories to explain the concepts. So there are people who are very good in communication. They will communicate well. They are storytellers, right? So influencing is another area of strength. Thinking is another area of strength. Some people will go in depth. They will analyze. So they will collect all the information, right? There are some people who will come up with brainstormers. You know what is brainstorming? They will come up with a lot of ideas, right? They will come up with many ideas. So where they will be very creative, innovative. So they will come up with many solutions, many possibilities. Durga Nandini is asking some question. Durga Nandini, can you give me some time? I don't know, you are raising your hand. We'll come back. Just hold on. So Philomath is somebody who is good in learning things, who is learning multiple things, who is having interest in learning different aspects, who is a constant learner, who shows a lot of interest in learning different aspects, who spends time reading a lot of books or watching videos or interacting with others and learning, attending seminars, webinars. So Philomath is somebody who is an interest, as avid interest in learning, right? Who is a constant learner, who learns continuously, right? A strategist is one, we discussed earlier also, a strategist is one who understands the broad picture, who understands the holistic picture, who after understanding all those things, he will look at the possibilities, he will come up with creative solutions so that the organization can be successful, better than the competition. So he will decide a strategy so that whichever organization they are in, that organization will be one of the well-known organization, one of the pioneers in whichever the field they are in. So they are a strategist, right? Executing, see, it is not only, see, there are some, yeah. Okay, there are people who are good in execution. See, there are people who make plans, who make strategies, who make detailed plans. At the end of the day, somebody has to deliver, right? Somebody has to do things as per the plan. We need to constantly follow up, ensure every milestone is achieved. So tick off everything, right? Everything is achieved, everything is done. So they will do, they are very methodical people. They will constantly look at the plan and follow up, take all the actions to complete the action, to execute. And focus expert is somebody, see, when a project is chosen or a topic is chosen, so they will be an expert in that project. They will be expert in that particular domain, that particular field, right? Timekeeper is again somebody who will help the team to focus on the deadlines, to focus on the timelines, to say that, see, we need to do this by this time. Unless we do this by this time, we will not achieve our results, right? So we need to act quickly. So we need to move quickly. And they are the kind of people who will constantly motivate the team, encourage the team to act quickly so that we will achieve the results. So these are 20 themes, okay? Actually, broadly, this is enough. See, this is based on research done by a psychologist called Don Clifton. So if you look at Don Clifton, Clifton strengths, if you Google Clifton strengths, you will find 34 strengths. So out of this 34 strengths, being a free test, if you take an official test, it goes a little more granular. I'll go to that. So the official test is called Clifton Strengths Test. So there are 34 strengths, but broadly, those are expansion of these 20 strengths. They are going a little more granular. So you see a relationship, there are more strengths listed here. People who will build harmony, who are inclusive. Individualization is nothing but who will understand each person's need, and according to that, they will help them or they will do something for them. So Don Clifton is the person who developed these strengths. He has done a lot of research. So it's again based on positive psychology. There is a book called Strength Finder 2.0. If you type Strength Finder 2.0, so you will get a book by Don Clifton. And Gallup is an organization. Gallup is an internationally known organization which uses these strengths, is a very well-known leading organization in the world, which has done a pioneering work in this area. They use this in a lot of organizations to coach the executive teams, to coach the leadership teams. So if you want to take an official test, go more granular, more in depth, you can buy the book Strength Finder 2.0. You can get this in Amazon or Flipkart. If you buy the book, you will get a link in the book. There is a link in the book which one person can use. Like, typically earlier days, we used to get a passcode, for bank. When you open a bank account, they will give a covered seal. When you open, there will be a code. Something like that. When you buy the book, there is a link available. Using this link, you can do the test. The book roughly costs about 800 rupees. But if you really ask me, it's a good investment to make. It's a worth investment to make. If you are doing this test without buying this book also, it is more expensive. Probably it will cost 2,000 rupees for doing this test, the basic level test. Instead, if you buy the book also will be a reference material for you. The book explains each of the strength in detail. So it beautifully explains. So there are practical examples of what is adaptability means, what connectedness means, right? So I would recommend if you can buy the book, roughly 800 rupees, it's a good investment. You will understand yourself better. You will understand your strengths better. And you can also do official test and get the report, right? Is there any questions? I see some hands going up. Father Sagai or Suresh, if you can help me with the, yeah.
Sir, a participant asked a question.
Yeah.
Why it is named as I5 test?
Okay. Why it is named I5 test is basically they are identifying the top 5 strengths.
Oh.
Since they're identifying the top 5 strengths, it is called I5 test. Okay.
Okay. Sir.
I hope I've answered.
So one more question.
Yeah.
One more question. It is from YouTube. Some of our faculty members are also following that.
Yeah.
So, can you explain term intelligence?
Okay. I will explain. The next topic we are going is basically intelligence. See, I'll quickly answer. Intelligence is basically a natural ability, right? Each one of us have a natural ability where we far exceed the average. See, people the intelligence can come through heredity and upbringing, both. See, there are people in certain families, they will have musical intelligence. We know in certain families, they are good in music, right? They will grasp music very fast. They will be able to sing better, or they will be able to play instruments better. So there is a natural ability. So the ability is inborn. Sometimes it is through heredity and genes. If you use this natural ability and if you coach them, if you train them, they will grasp things fast, right? Compared to an average person who doesn't have that natural intelligence. I hope I've answered that question.
So one more question from the chat box.
Yeah.
What is the significance of the attributes possible, personal, and logical and present?
Logical, which they are referring? Attributes, logical, I understand. What was the other question? I'm sorry, Suresh. Is it Suresh asking? I'm not getting that question.
No, it is a question from chat box. Person has asked it.
Yeah.
They're asking the significance of the attributes.
Okay, let me look at the chat box myself. Who has asked that question?
I think, if I'm not wrong, Joseph Dunstan.
Joseph, if you can unmute and ask, if you don't mind. Don't worry, if you can unmute and ask me, that will help me. If you feel free, see, because it will be helpful. See, I don't want to give a vague answer. If I can understand your question, I want to give a proper answer. That's the reason I'm requesting. If you can unmute yourself and ask me that question. Yeah.
There's one participant asking question. Shilpa Bill. How to convert weakness into strength?
See, let me put it this way. Let me be very frank. You can't convert a weakness into a strength. Okay, right? A weakness is a weakness. Okay. This is, see, use the strengths. That's what I would say. Use your strength, because God has given different strengths for different people. You see, it's like, I will put it this, and from the natural world, I'll take an example. For elephant, you will use for certain job. For if you want to lift the load, if you have to lift the logs from one area to another area, you will use an elephant to shift the logs. But if you want to pluck the coconuts, you will use a monkey, right? So you should use your strengths and find appropriate career where you will be successful, right? Rather than trying to say, like an elephant can't climb the tree. Probably you can shake the tree and make the coconuts fall. Or even in today's video, I saw it was a mother elephant was shaking jackfruit tree so that the tall jackfruit tree so that jackfruits could fall. So it is using its strength. It is not trying to climb the tree. So like that, God has given us, or nature has given us some natural strengths. Discover your natural strengths and use them for your betterment. Don't worry too much about your weakness. That's what I would say. Okay. So I have some crosstalk. If you mute yourself, it will help others. Excuse me. Yeah, I will move on. So if there are any other questions, we will answer on the go.
Yep. Sir, proceed, sir. Proceed, sir.
Sir, proceed.
At the end.
Yeah, right. See, I said I5 Strengths is a free test, and Clifton Strengths is the official test. So I said there is a cost if you have to take an official test, Clifton Strength. So yeah, if people who are serious about it, who want to make an investment, I would recommend buy this book, Strength Finder 2.0 by Gallup. It's only about 800 rupees. So you will get a very beautiful hardcover book. You can read, understand each strength in detail, and using the link, if you do the test, it will give you more in-depth granular details. So I am comparing a free test and a Clifton Strengths, which is an official strength. For example, in I5 test, in relationship, there are 5 strengths detailed. But whereas in an official test, there are 9 strengths. So the difference is 4. The different strengths are connectedness. Connectedness, see, there are some people who will see a relationship between multiple things. They can connect many things, right? They are good in connecting different concepts, so different ideas. So, there are good people. There are people who will connect. Say, the one person may have one need, another person may have another need. So this guy, since he is a networking person or an highly networked person, he will know, okay, this person needs it. I know somebody who has this skill or who has this product or this service. I will link both of them. So connectedness is a strength, right? Connecting different concepts, different ideas, connecting people. And includer, there are certain people who will try to include everybody. They are not people who will try to exclude others, who want to be exclusive group. They will, as much as possible, they will encourage others to join. So they will include others. So like that. So if you take an official test, you can find out more in depth about relationship. See, may I request somebody is speaking. Can you request yourself to mute, please? Otherwise, it's disturbing others. So Suresh, if you don't mind, if you can mute the people who are talking in between. Right. See, influencing. So a maximizer is somebody, I'll tell you an example of a maximizer. A maximizer is somebody, see, let's say there is a scale in the business. You have reached a particular scale. So I'm just saying an example. Suppose an organization is doing a sale of 10 crores, let's say. if they have a person in the organization who is having the maximizer strength, he will scale up the business. Say from 10 crores, he will scale up the business probably to 50 crores to 100 crores using things. So by developing that business, using multiple sources, or finding multiple markets, or doing business with similar products, similar services, right? So you will find the ways and means of maximizing things. So there are people, there are some people who are good in inventing, coming up with new ideas. So once somebody has come up with new ideas, a creative product or a software or a solution, there are other people using those products. They will try to achieve more business, more sales. They will try to improve the results. They are maximizers. So yeah, I would recommend people, apart from the free test is a good starter, but if you want to go in depth, buy the book and go do the official test so that you will get more information and more knowledge about your own strengths. Right. I'm trying to go to the next.
Sir?
Yeah.
So this is Suresh.
Yes, Suresh.
Sir, one more question from YouTube viewer named Udaya Shankar Das.
Yes.
What is stock market trader? What type of a personality does one need?
For a stock market trader, okay. See, I will broadly answer, right? Tomorrow we'll deal in depth. A stock market trader should understand the broad trends, right? You should be intuitive and you should be thinking. You should understand the broad picture. You should know which sector is doing well, which sector is not doing well, which sector there is a growth, which sector there is no growth. So you should also collect day-to-day information. You should be a thinking type. So I will definitely look at somebody with N and T combination, right? Could be an I. The reason is, see, of course, typically I'm saying, typical N and T is a must. Who should look at the possibilities, who should be understand the broad picture, and who should be thinking type, right? So at least I would look at these two characteristics in a person who is good in recommending stock market investment. Okay, so I'll move on. See, I will be very happy to share this presentation with whoever wants to use this. Right. See, there is an explanation for each of these trends. See, there is also, see, I would recommend you YouTube. See, since many of you are using YouTube, if you type Clifton strengths, there is a 1-minute video or a 2-minute video explaining each strength. So they will basically explain a person with adaptability skills. What are the typical behavior of a person who is having an adaptability skills, right? Adaptability, we all know. See, they are people who are very dynamic, right? When the situation change, they will quickly change themselves, adapt themselves, right? They are not people who are very they're not the people who are resist change. They are willing to change. They are willing to adapt to the changing circumstances. See, for example, I'll just give an example, a practical example. I was reading something on WhatsApp and YouTube. I know a person who was doing a business in Pondicherry. He was running a very good restaurant where a lot of foreigners used to come and dine. So he used to, of course, it's a more of an Indian cuisine, but catering to an allied crowd. Because of the COVID-19 situation, he is unable to open the restaurant and foreigners are not coming. So how do he pay salaries to his employees? What he did, he has 3 or 4 vehicles. So now he is catering to the local people, local crowd, supplying biryani on the go, car biryani, it is called. I'm just saying an example. The person adapted to the situation, right? He is facing with the situation. He knows the responsibilities that he has to pay to his employees. The employees' families cannot go starving. They have their needs. So he changed his business model from serving the elite crowd or people coming from other countries. So he changed this business model. So he is using the vehicles and he is supplying car biryani across Pondicherry. So that's an example of somebody who is having an adaptability strength, right? So that's an explanation, right? So you would have seen a lot of people, harmony. See, when two people fight in a group, right? So when 2 or 3 people are fighting, you would see a person who is intervening, try to calm things down, to reason out with people. Why are you fighting? Why don't you calm down? Let's speak quietly. So let one person speak, the other person listen. So we have seen examples. They are the people who have a strength of an harmony, who can resolve conflicts, who can help people to bridge the gap. So we will try to bring the consensus, the compromise. So they will try to bring people together. They will bring peace. They will pacify people. So this is an example of harmony strength. See, lack of time, I can't go through each of these strengths. We have a very limited time today. So with the limited time, I will give few examples. These are not very complex. Once you read, you will understand. But in case you don't understand anything, feel free to ask me either today during the questions or tomorrow, right? And see, there are also people who are, let's say, developer, encouraging others to grow and find true potential. There are some people who will always encourage others, who will find positive things, who will help others to develop others, right? So I'm sorry. So who will identify the areas of a strength or the potential of the person, help that person to grow. They will give a lot of ideas. They will recommend books. They will spend time. So there are people who will spend time and energy to help people to develop their true potential. So these are examples, right? So now influence. See, everybody will understand a command type of a person who is very assertive, who has a courage. See, there are people who will not be afraid of any situation. They will take the lead. They will take leadership, all right? So they will speak their mind. They're very assertive people, right? Command. So activator is the person who will encourage people to act quickly, not too much discussion, too much thinking. See, some discussion, some thinking is okay. After some time, they will say, why don't we take action? Why don't we move forward? So those are the examples, right? See, who, you would see something like who is the person who are good in networking, right? You know somebody, say, right, they will go out of their way. They're comfortable meeting any person. They will quickly develop a relationship, even with a stranger. If they have spent a few minutes with them, they will try to find out where they are from, which place they are, what they are doing. And they will make a connection, and they will use those connections. They will be constantly in touch with people whenever possible. They will interact with them, they will call them. So be in touch with them and good in networking, right? So that's an example. Yeah, I have some questions. I have some hands going up. I think similarly, I can explain each of these strengths, but what I would recommend, see, there are 34 videos. Each video is only after doing your strength test. So if you have done your I5 test, you would know your top 5 strengths, right? Or after taking your official test, if you are doing it, you will know your top 5 strengths. So watch these videos. There are 34 videos. Each video is not more than 2 minutes. 1.5 to 2 minutes, but beautifully explained. You search for Clifton 34 strengths. You would get these videos, watch them. You will understand these strengths better. You will understand yourself better. So now I will answer some questions related to this. If there are questions. Or we will move on. And yeah. Thinking, see, futuristic. See, for example, a person like Elon Musk, you will rate him futuristic, right? He sees a new technology, So he is always talking about future technology, machine learning, robotics, self-driving cars, so whatnot. So there are certain people who are very, very futuristic. They will think ahead of their times. They will see the technological possibilities, right? So they are very, very futuristic people. Intellection is the one who think through, right? Who will think through different ideas. They will come up with different concepts. They will develop new ideas. So who will write papers, who will publish papers. So say who are good in writing, who are developing ideas. So yeah, you know, a lot of people who write books, who publish articles. So these are the people, intellection, that is their strength, right? Yeah, I'll stop here. Probably we'll use, it's better, I think. If there are any questions specifically related to any of these trends, I will answer, right? Can we move on, Father Sagai? I think we'll take the next 20 plus minutes, 22 minutes we have.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Sure.
So I would see, in case if you can summarize the questions, if there are similar questions, otherwise we can ask the participants, whoever is asking, to unmute and ask. I'll try to clarify. And if I am not able to answer all the questions, I will answer them tomorrow. See, tomorrow I will cover I think today multiple intelligence I have not covered. I've given a simple outline when somebody asked about intelligence. I'll go in depth tomorrow. We'll keep the intelligence part tomorrow. So we'll go, personality and strengths is what I have covered today. We will answer questions related to this today. And the intelligences we will cover tomorrow. Any questions?
Sir, proceed, sir. Proceed, sir.
Okay, there are questions. Okay, see, executing strengths. See, there is a book I would recommend. There is a book called 4 Disciplines of Execution. So anybody who wants to achieve results, who want to improve the performance of the organization, I would recommend people to read a book called 4 Disciplines of Execution. It is by Franklin Covey. You know, you would have heard 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The same publishers, they have published a book called 4 Disciplines of Execution. Why do I say that? Execution is a strength. See, like developing a strategy, coming up with creative ideas, coming up with future plans, all those things are good. But unless you execute those ideas, execute those plans, so that you will not achieve results. So there are certain people who are very good in achieving things, who are good in delivering the results. Those are the people who are having this strengths. They are the people who will get things done. They will follow up every day. They will know what is the target for the year, what is the target for the month. Every day they will work towards that target. They will make number of phone calls if required. They will do all the actions required to achieve the plan, right? They are the achievers. And there are the people, there are different type of people who will manage their time beautifully. They will arrange, they are good organizers, they will make a good plan. So they will, if you are, let's say, if you are going for a tour in your college, they will make a detailed itinerary. So they will, so that no time is wasted. So it will be a perfect plan, right? They will call everybody required. So they will find out what time a particular tourist place is open. So they will ensure, they will make all the arrangements so that everything goes smoothly. I'm just saying an example of a tour. It could be a program in the college. So it could be a program in the organization. It could be an event in the family. They are the people who are arrangers who will ensure that everything is organized perfectly. They are the executors. So this is an example, right? Then a discipline, right? There are people who will follow a discipline, who who are methodical. They will have a detailed folder for everything, right? It be it a computer, or they will have a detailed file. They will file everything methodically. So they can easily retrieve their books. They can easily retrieve their files. So they will arrange everything. They will follow the procedures. So looking at if you go into their office, they go into their room, you know they are well arranged. So they can retrieve things quickly. They are organized. They follow procedures. So these are the strengths related to execution. Right. Father, I'll stop here. We'll go for the questions the next 15 minutes or so, question and answers. Then the rest we'll cover tomorrow, Father.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is Suresh.
Yes, Suresh.
So I've written the questions posted in the chat box. I'll
Yes.
ask one by one. You just answer.
Sure.
How
sure.
can be identified optimistic person? Is there any test?
Okay, I will limit myself to the topic, right? See, it's only there are my knowledge. There are no tests. I'm not a psychologist. Let me put it this way: my specialization or my focus is on career guidance. I'm not a psychologist. There could be tests which I am not aware of. But by experience, you know a person who is exploitative, who all the time wants only things for himself, and who doesn't give back anything, right? By moving with them, relating with them, you can relatively over a time, you will know whether that person is an exploitative person who is interested in getting things only for himself, who doesn't give back. That much I can say. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not aware, right? Yeah.
So one more question.
Yes.
Do our personalities change over time and often?
Okay, this I can answer because I have the required knowledge. See, personality, the core personality doesn't change. So when I say core personality, see, if you are an introvert, relatively, you will remain an introvert throughout your life. The percentage could slightly change. Only the percentage, see, over a time, because of your experience, because of moving with people, from an introvert, you can become a little more extrovert. When I'm just saying an example. So let's say you are 60% introvert or 70% introvert. You can become you will become more an extrovert. That means your extrovert percentage will improve from, let's say from 30 to 40 or 45. So you will become a little more extrovert, but your introvert personality doesn't change. So relatively, the personality doesn't change. It is stable, right? So a personality is one which is stable, which definitely doesn't change. But at the same time, let me put it this way. If there is a critical situation in life, see, I'm just saying, somebody very dear to you, you have lost. Or say an example of today's times, or somebody is affected by COVID in your family, right? So even if you're an introvert person, you will try to go out, find all the help required. You will meet all the people required to take help for somebody in case your family members, one of the person is affected by COVID. So you will, according to the situation, you will change. But when the situation becomes normal, you will revert to your world person. It's like an elastic behavior. You know elastic, right? So if you pull it, yes, it stretches. But after normal, it will return to the normal. The personality, my opinion, of course, there will be some elongation. It's like that your personality could slightly change over a period of time, over many years, because of exposure, because of your nature of job. Yes, you can develop a complementary, I would say both are complementary. That's how I look at it. They are in the continuum, extroversion, introversion, sensing and thinking, or feeling and thinking, they're all on the continuum. So you can become more of something, but relatively your personality is stable. So it doesn't change radically. So unless there is a critical situation, you may change temporarily, right? So generally it doesn't change. That's what I would say.
Sir, one more.
Yeah.
Is it a question from Aloysius Michael?
Yes.
Is it okay to be a negative person?
I don't know why is this question. I don't find any reason being negative, right? See, when unless he is asking, he wants to look at all the aspects. See, we should not only look at the pros, we should also look at the cons. See, I would recommend to Aloysius, there is a book called Six Thinking Hats, Aloysius Michael. So basically, when you have to decide, you need to look at all the aspects. So, Edward de Bono is Edward de Bono is one of the famous author on thinking, creativity. He is one of the leading author. He says you need to, when you decide, you need to look at wearing different hats. One of the hat is basically called devil's advocate. You know, devil's advocate is the person who will look at the negative side, not negative side. So the pros and cons, that aspect. In that way, I agree with you. When you decide, you should not be misled looking only at the positive, not looking at the cons, right? So pros and cons you need to look at. In that aspect, if you're asking that question, is it okay to be a negative person? I'm okay with that. So in that sense, pros and cons, I think in that aspect, it's okay. But if you're looking only the negative side of life, always problems, if you feel rejected, if you feel down, you are gloomy, I don't think that serves you or it serves anybody. I'm sorry if Michael, if you can unmute and ask why you are asking, that will be more helpful.
Sir?
Yeah.
Question from the chat box from
Yes.
Melody Nikkei. How can we handle people who resist adaptability?
Okay. So Sir is asking about adaptability is directly proportional to change management. See, we all have to make change management. Today we are facing one of the rapid changes in the world. So COVID has changed the paradigms, right? All the paradigms have changed. So it has changed the education paradigm, right? So people have become more comfortable with online classes. See, imagine if, but for COVID-19, how adaptable we would have been for these webinars and virtual conferences. And see, the situation has made us adaptable, right? So yes, not all the people are very adaptable. Generally, people are comfortable with what they are doing. They resist change. So how we can influence people? So you need to use your influencing strengths. So we saw, so if as a person, definitely all of us have one or two influencing strengths we will have. So if you are finding a person who is resisting change, convince that person. You should find why. So see, there is a proverb. If I know why, I will find out how. So why is more important. Use your thinking skills, using your thinking strengths, your thinking skills and influencing skills. Convince the person why you need to change, why you need to adapt to the needing situation. See, all the people generally, all the people are sensible. They understand, but of course there could be a degree of variation in sensibility and adaptability. But if they understand the purpose, if they understand the why, I think they will change. They will become adaptable. But part of change management, if you are finding too much resistance from a small team, first win over the critical people who are, there are opinion makers. Any organizations, there are people who are informal leaders. There are opinion makers. So identify those people, first convince them and prepare them for adaptability. Then you can influence people who are resisting adaptability. This is my tip. So, but first, you be convinced about the why we need to change, why we need to adapt. So the purpose why we need to change, then try to convince that person using your influencing skills.
Sir?
Right. Yes.
So question from YouTube chat box.
Yes.
How can I improve students who are always demotivated by themselves? How can I change personality?
Sir,
Hello?
yes, sir, I understand, sir. So only thing I would say, sir, we can take people to the water, but only end of the day, the horses have to drink, right? So the motivation is intrinsic. The extrinsic motivation doesn't stay long. Yes, you can threaten them, you can warn them. See, all this is part of extrinsic motivation, I would say. Even threatening them, warning them, or talking to parents, or even giving them some encouraging words, positivity, giving some rewards, giving some appreciation. All those things are extrinsic motivation. But extrinsic motivation has a limitation. It doesn't stay long, right? So unless the person is convinced, right, the need for it. So the best thing I would say is find out what they really need, what they really need in their life, what they are trying to achieve. So find out. See, you can only motivate a person after spending considerable time, understanding the person, understanding the real need, probably understanding the situation of the person. If you understand the real need of the person and what he is trying to achieve, probably we can help them to develop that intrinsic motivation. So the motivation is within. It comes from within. There is a limitation to which we can do extrinsic motivation. And it doesn't stay long, the extrinsic motivation.
Yeah, good. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Suresh Rajan, any other question?
Yes, Father, final question from the participant. Is it okay to be an introvert? A question from Aloysius Michael, sir. Is it okay to be introvert in life?
Aloysius, is nothing wrong in being an introvert. Introvert is a preference, right? So you prefer to spend time alone. You prefer to spend time alone with a small group. It is perfectly fine. So whenever you choose your career or a job, try to choose a career or a job where you would be able to work alone. See, there are certain jobs, like I'm just saying a programmer, a computer programmer, once he understands the broad picture, so he knows what he needs to do in his job. For him, he need not interact with too many people, right? Probably he needs to understand with his program manager or a team leader, understand what is required and do his job. Similarly, if you want to be an introvert, perfectly fine. So absolutely fine, but choose the jobs or career which is matching with your personality. There are jobs like research, where you can do research in the lab, or you can crunch a lot of data, sitting in a place, doing a desk job, or sitting alone, all by yourself or with a small team. So that is what I would say. Even compatibility, right? See, I'm apart from job, even for marriage, when you're looking, there should be a compatibility, right? So look at those aspects. That's what I would say. There is nothing wrong in many of us, or equal number of us are introvert, like equal number of people are extroverts, right? So there is nothing wrong, and that's how nature has created us. So whatever we are, see, there is a book, Do What You Are. I was saying an example of an elephant and monkey. On a beautiful book on career guidance, it says, do what you are. That's the title of the book. Discover who you are and be what you are, right? So do what you are. Once you discover what you are, then do what you are, then you will be successful in the career, right? So the name of the book is Do What You Are. Just to give an example and encourage people to read. Thank you.
Sir, question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, Suresh. Ask Suresh. Suresh, ask. Yes.
Yes, yes, sir. So, question is, as I see it from this presentation, no personality trait is devalued. Is that right? A question from Arshia. It is
Yes,
posted in the chat box.
It's absolutely right. What you're asking is right. Every person is unique. Every person has unique strengths. Every person has unique personalities, traits, characters. So you can't compare two different persons because the circumstances are different, persons are different. Each person copes with the life differently. Each person solves problems differently, copes with issues differently, relates with differently. There is nothing right or wrong in the personality. This is how we adapt to our situation, how we solve our problems, how we cope with our problems, right? So each person is precious, each person is unique. There is no personality which is wrong, right? That's what I would say. Be the best version of yourself. That's what I would say. Discover the best version of yourself and be the best version of yourself. Right? Don't be a copy of somebody. Discover the best of yourself and be the best of yourself. That's what I would say.
Maybe I think it is running out of time. I'll ask maybe one or two questions can be answered. I request the participants.
Sure, Suresh.
Participants to post your questions in the chat box. Our resource person is now available and he will answer the questions. I think I'll take this last question from Joseph Dunstan. I think he has been consistently posting this 3-4 words. Regarding the 4 words, possible, person, personal, logical, and present. I don't understand the question, but just mentions only 4 words.
Is it a question or a feedback? See, if this is not clear, let's move on. Otherwise, we'll request the person to ask in person. That would be better. Unmute and ask.
Yeah. Dear participants, I think if you got any other questions, you can always get back to us. You can send your queries, your doubts to the organizer through mail, or even you can post in the WhatsApp group also. We will certainly come back to you with the answers. I'm sure we can make it always. From the matrix presented, I am an ENFJ type professional, but from the test result, I am INF. Okay. What should I interpret? Could you please explain? Flowmath. Somebody is asking. Kalai from the matrix presented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kalai, can you tell me the percentages in E and I? That's the difference. If you can, even in chat box, if you don't mind sharing, I think they will be closer to 50 percentile. It could be 45, 55. That's the reason you are having that kind of a doubt. Can you look at the first letter? You would have got a percentage in E and I. So can you tell me what your E percentile? See, that's the reason. See, sometimes the percentages could be very close, something like 55, 45. See, for example, Kalai could be comfortable being in a group, at the same time being alone. There are times, some people, you would have heard a word called ambivert, nothing wrong. There is an extrovert and introvert. There is also a term called ambivert. See, there are some people who are comfortable being alone, comfortable spending time alone, reading, relaxing, listening to music. They also will be comfortable when required to go and spend time with friends, have a party. But general preference will be more an introvert. So it could be either way. So look at the percentage. So if it is, if you can, in the chat box, if you can post it, I think that would be the...
Sir, she has given 35. E35, I65. Yeah.
So she is more an introvert. See, sometimes she could be an extrovert. That's what I said. Sometimes she is comfortable moving with friends, sometimes going out for a party. But generally, by nature, she prefers to be alone. She would like to relax alone. That's how I see it. Right.
Is there any question, participants? I think
Yeah.
no question from the participants. Father?
Yeah, I think they can. Dear participants, thank you so much for attending this national webinar on discovering your personality. I think our resource person has beautifully disclosed the secrets of personalities. I think it's a really eye-opener to all of us. Even if the participants, if you have got any doubts, any clarifications you need, kindly send a mail to the organizing committee. We will take it forward to the resource persons and we'll try to get back to you with the answers. And also I request the participants to come and undertake those 3 tests, what the resource persons already asking us to do. If you're not done, we will send a mail today. You can undergo those 3 tests. So when you come back tomorrow for the second day of webinar session, you'll have a better clarity where you stand, what is your ratio, what is your scoring, and what is your combination of these personalities. You'll be able to discover your own inner sense. So I wish that all the participants, you undergo these 3 tests if you're not done today. So come out tomorrow. So you'll have a better understanding, I think. It's okay, sir?
Thank you. Okay, Father. Before we'll wind up, let me
So thanks a
close
lot. Thanks a lot to all the participants. Thanks for your wonderful participation and good questions, wonderful questions. See, only request, maybe tomorrow, there are some few questions we were not clear. So without clarity, I didn't want to answer. So feel free, you can unmute and ask questions if you can, so that I can answer give relevant answer. I have done my whatever best possible I have done. Tomorrow, I would only request, as Father Sagai was saying, complete those tests so that you will have a better understanding of yourself, and then you can also guide others, right? That's only my request. So wish you good evening, and I will leave it to the organizers now to conclude. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir, for the vivid explanation of different aspects of life to improve our personalities. And the way you explained it was, it was brilliant, and you schematizely put all the points in apple pie order. And really, it was a wonderful session. And we also thank the participants. And we will take this session tomorrow. Thank you, participants. And yes, sir, we will continue tomorrow. And I request once again the participants, please undergo the 3 tests. And if there is any technical snag today, and we express our apology, and we will come back to you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you, sir, and thank you, dear participants.
Thank you.
What next? College, of course. Your career stands on your college decision. Choose Don Bosco College, Yellowgreen Hills, part of the international network of Don Bosco educational institutions. We offer integral education at an affordable cost. Courses offered: UG programs, PG programs, MPhil programs, PhD programs. Power your future with quality education at Don Bosco Arts and Science College, Yellowgreen Hills, affiliated to Tiruvallur University. Contact the principal, Don Bosco College, Yezunagar, Atanavu, Yellowgreen Hills, Tirupattur District, Tamil Nadu, India, 635-853. Bosco Soft Technologies Private Limited, Yellowgreen Hills. Innovate and lead. It's a software enterprise run by the Salesians of Don Bosco, with over 21 years of providing IT and IT-enabled services. Bosco Soft is known for industry-standard end-to-end ERP solutions, Smart School Plus, School Management System. Acme ERP, Accounting Management System. High Grade 20, College Management System. Crystal, Church Management System. Medsys B, Hospital Management System. Industry ERP, Business Process Streamline. Microfinancing, Self-Help Groups Accounting Management System. Hygiene Audit, Hygiene Audit Processing System. Achieve your business goals with Bosco Soft. Visit www.boscosofttech.com. Email info@boscosofttech.com. Phone 9626-800-800. Bosco Soft Technologies Private Limited.
Pressure, we can stop.
Yes, yes, Father.
Dear audience, we'll meet tomorrow afternoon, the same timing, 3 o'clock. So kindly inform your friends. We'll resume our national webinar tomorrow, again at 3 o'clock. Kindly inform your friends. Thanks for participating today. Thank you. We'll leave the session today.